Donald Trump spoke about his position on trade deals, and we may have had a slight evolution in his mindset. Take a look.
America has also finally turned the page on decades of unfair trade deals that sacrificed our prosperity and shipped away our companies, our jobs, and our wealth. Our nation has lost its wealth, but we're getting it back so fast. The era of economic surrender is totally over. From now on, we expect trading relationships to be fair and, very importantly, reciprocal. We will work to fix bad trade deals and negotiate new ones, and they'll be good ones, but they'll be fair.
Okay, so here we go again. He just slipped it there at the end. He's like, oh, but we'll negotiate new ones and there'll be better ones. No, whoa. You campaigned on, I'm against TPP, I'm against NAFTA. So now you're like, well, what we'll do is we'll change the trade deals, we'll get better ones. Whoa, no. You said you're against those deals. Not, hey, I'm against those deals and I'm going to tweak it and do a different version of that. But see, that's always the get-out-of-jail-free card. The get-out-of-jail-free card is, yeah, I killed TPP, that's what I did. Sure, I'm renegotiating a new deal right now. And by the way, Trump admitted just a few weeks ago, oh, actually, yeah, I'm open to TPP. We just have to, tweak some different things. Why did he take that position? Because there was news that Justin Trudeau in Canada, he's negotiating a new TPP without the U.S. And so Trump's like, what? No, you're not going to do a deal without me. Unbelievable. I got to get in this. Believe me. So it's no principled take from, Trump's mind. It's not like he's really against it and I will never sell out the American people. He outsources his own jobs. How the fuck can you think he's principled on something like this? Of course he's not principled on something like this. So he's going to renegotiate it. By the way, even before, those stories, we learned that he was slipping provisions of TPP into the renegotiation of NAFTA. So he was never opposed to these things in principle. The guy is a rampant corporatist. I mean, he packed his administration full of Goldman Sachs. You think he really gives a shit about factory workers in the Rust Belt? Please, of course he doesn't. But, yet again, this is another area where the media and the Democrats are failing massively because there's 2 points that they should make, they should be clear about. The first one is, when Trump says, oh, the jobs are coming back here, it's unbelievable, I have to tell you. What he doesn't do is tell you why there are some jobs coming back here, really not that many. But they do a big stink about it in the press when there are any jobs that come back here and any company decides, oh, we'll invest something in America. Like Foxconn, for example, and I think it's Wisconsin or Michigan, where they're setting up shop now. They're building some factories. First of all, in Foxconn, their factories are so bad that they literally put suicide nets outside of them in China because they work people to the bone. But putting that aside, which we shouldn't put it aside, but we're going to put it aside for a second, Trump's just handing out corporate welfare to all these different companies. That's what happened with, remember the Carrier deal? Trump's like, I saved all the jobs here at Carrier. Well, what happened next? They don't tell you that, and the media was nowhere to be found. Well, what happened next was they took a giant corporate welfare check from the government, and then when nobody was looking, a few months later, they fired people anyway. They fired hundreds of people. So all the jobs that Trump was like, oh, we're saving these jobs. They didn't save those jobs. When the cameras were turned away, they said, we're going to let you go. And now there's some factory workers who are out there like, we just got hosed by Trump. Some Carrier workers. They're like, he said he was going to save the jobs. He didn't save the jobs. He did a fucking photo op. He gave management a giant corporate welfare check, and then they outsourced the jobs anyway. So the Democrats need to be pointing that out. Come on, you got to hit him with this stuff or else you're going to lose. Corporate welfare Don. Something like that. Corporate welfare Don over here keeps handing out corporate welfare as companies outsource their jobs. And the ones who don't outsource, he's hosing the taxpayers in the process. So what happened? I thought you were for working people keeping their own money. No, you're taxing them and handing the money to the bosses and management and CEOs at these companies. And then the next point is, and this is the more important point, under Donald Trump's reign, that's not the right word, under Donald Trump's tenure, in his first year in office, 93,000 jobs were outsourced. The guy who ran on the anti-outsourcing platform outsourced 93,000 jobs. Outsourcing Don. Outsourcing Don can't stop outsourcing jobs. What happened? I thought you were, against outsourcing jobs. I thought you were going to look out for working class people. Well, then why did you outsource 93,000 jobs? And you're bragging about jobs coming here. What about the 93,000 jobs that were exported under you? Now, again, this is what Trump, but I'm better than other presidents. Actually, no. Obama's last year in office, 87,000 jobs outsourced. That's not good. That's terrible. And I ripped Obama for that, along with a million other things. But you ran on an anti-outsourcing platform and you outsourced more jobs than Obama. So you're a fraud. You're a fraud. The other thing is, and the carrier worker pointed this out too, where are your executive orders on this stuff? So if you wanted to, you could sign an executive order that forces carrier to keep those jobs here. You don't do it. You don't do it because you don't want to do it. There's another thing. Remember Made in America week? They're like, we're going to do a week about how things are made in America. It's unbelievable. Let me just tell you. Well, guess what? That executive order was not an executive order that said, for example, the federal government needs to buy all their products from American companies made in America. He could have done that for an executive order. He didn't do that. Instead, he signed an executive order. We're going to study this about what we should do in terms of buying American and form a fucking committee, and then the committee will come back with recommendations, and then maybe we'll take action or maybe we won't. So in other words, the same bullshit that every other politician does, that's exactly what you're doing. And by the way it works, we do have a Made in America law on the books for the federal government. So the government, in theory, has to buy all their stuff from companies that make it in America. But guess what? There's a little provision in that law that says, included as Made in America is us and all of our allies. So in other words, if Israel makes it, if fucking China makes it, if any other country makes it that's our ally, we go, well, that counts as Made in America. But that's not Made in America. It's made in another fucking country. All you have to do is sign an executive order. Made in America actually means made in America. And then so many jobs would be created. That's a great law for the working class. But you're not going to do it because it would piss off your donors and you're just like all the other politicians. So, I don't know why they don't. I would call him Outsourcing Don. Outsourcing Don cannot stop outsourcing jobs. And when he's not outsourcing jobs, he's busy giving away taxpayer money as corporate welfare checks. He's a liar. He's a fraud. But God forbid the media too busy up their own ass to talk about things that matter. And the Democrats, again, same thing. I haven't heard any of them respond to this. I haven't heard a single Democrat bring up the fact that Trump outsourced more jobs than Obama. And Trump ran against outsourcing, but he outsourced 93,000 jobs. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So here we are again with a slick talking asshole who can go up there and lie for an hour and a half straight. And the response from everybody appears to be... It's so sad.